huku online. Manze, mi sifurahi venye tunafight amongst ourselves. I come from a community which have a saying which says, mtoto anachapangwa kama amerudishwa nyumbani. The main fight that we should be having, it should be directed to the president. Huyo ndo mtu ametutesa, ametengeneza rules zenye zinaturegulate huku venye tunaishi huku. So our main focus should be directed to the President Ruto. My second issue is employment. There is a day here I was scrolling and I saw Senator Olekina posting that when he was in Canada studying, alipata job kwa petrol station. Sisi huku hata kupata job, wacha hata hiyo petrol station, hata kwenda kwa event kuweka zile reflectors ukiwa shule, ati ucontrol hao watu wakiingia, lazima uku unajulikana. Tumeharibu nchi to an extent that lazima uhongane ndo upate anything. Whereas zile countries zimedevelop, watu wana hadi, imagine ukiwa follow na unaenda na unaajiliwa kwa petrol station. That's why we are fighting for the country, so that hata ukiwa shule unaweza hustle na uweze kujimaintain, uache kushinda umetegemea wazazi wako. That's why we are demonstrating. That's why we are going to the roads, because hawa watu wamejigawia pesa millions amongst themselves, zenye zingekuwa zinatumwa huku, zinatengeneza companies, zinatengeneza hizo petrol station, zinatengeneza vitu mingi. Time uko shule unaweza enda huko upate space, ufanye kazi usiku, maybe night shift, asubuhi unaingia class, si kushinda umetegemea wazazi. Lakini wanataka kuchukua hiyo pesa wao wenyewe wajifaidi nayo, waende wakajenge kanisa. Like seriously, unatoa 20 million unaenda kujenga kanisa time yenye kwa kaunti yako kuna shule zenye zimejengwa na matope. Hiyo ni akili ya wapi? Nao ndo watu ati wamekaribia president, the likes of Sudi and Farok, ndo wanamuadvise wajenge kanisa badala wajenge shule na wajenge company. Me the school haina hata laboratory za kutosha za computers, na instead za hizo pesa itumiwe kuleta computers, kujengea watu laboratories, ndo at least youths wafanye research, wajiajili wenyewe kwa wenyewe. The only thing they can do ni allocate themselves millions for mandazis and teas. And then you want to tell me nikae chini nisiende streets? Let me die fighting for my rights. Mi nataka nikae nchi yenye nikifanya kazi huku December naenda outside country, naenda places kama Dubai kuenjoy. Juu nimedhokoma huku, naenda huko kuenjoy. Sitaki kupelekwa huko, sitaki kuenda someone, because I know there are some NIS, the likes of Rod sijui whatever, huyu mwenye anakaa sijui mama hapa, aambiwe go tell the president I don't want to work in Saudi Arabia, I don't want to work in places where I'll be abused ati juu mi ni black. We are fixing this country. We are going to create job for ourselves. We don't want jobs from you. We want conducive environment and favorable environment where me, I have friends, I can ship bags from China and sell here without being overtaxed. That's what we want. We don't want to be sent at Saudi Arabia niende nikaosha watu wamekufa. No. And the final thing which I will say is this: we are not having a conversation with a liar. We are not having a conversation with a person who can give civilians guns to come and shoot at peaceful protesters. We are not having a conversation. The only conversation you guys should listen from Ruto is his resignation. Akuje a resign kwa space. We move from there. So I will rest my case there. People, tomorrow on the street are ours. Hii nchi ni yetu. Hii nchi si akina Sakaja ati mwenye anatuambia ati tusiende street. We must go for our future and for the future of our children and for the future of our mothers and fathers who are wenye wanazeeka. We must go to the street. Thank you.
Thank you. Naona time inaenda na kesho watu wanafaa arrest ya kuingia maandamano. So we have 3 last speakers. We have Dr. Bosire, we listen to Komwanza, then we conclude with Nduta wa Jack as we wind up kabisa. Thank you. Dr. Bosire.
Thank you so much. First Kadeno sisi kama wamama tunakata tuna reject Lord Mutai. Akai kama wamama si tunakaa poa na tuko na akili na atulambani rasa in the name of 527. So first and foremost wacheka hapo, sijui kama the animal kingdom watamchukua, but si kama wamama tunamreject. 3 things nataka kusema. Huyo msee alikamjana on national television na mlimuona, akasema ati akatudanganya first and foremost, akasema finance bill imeenda chini, then tunaamka leo asubuhi tuna realize msee ana borrow an excess of 400 billion despite the fact that amesema kukwenda government cuts zifike 346 na saizi deficit yetu ilikuwa 597, which ukiangalia kwa hiyo hesabu imebalance, kuna place imebalance because we already have an internal borrowing system na we already borrowed money. The hell is he taking 400 billion to? So nyi waseni kama mnakatia msee kudokoma yake, literally speaking, let me borrow that word from Kadeno. Ini bizna wase wameset na ni bizna ya kufleece country yetu, alafu sisi we get stuck in poverty. Na unajua hiyo poverty inaingia kwa education, inaingia kwa health, inaingia kwa security, inaingia kila pahali, paka maji na mahau. Kama kuna kitu unaweza kufanya ukasirika kwa street kesho, hamuna tweet, let it be. The second thing inafaa kukasirisha kabisa, numse despite the fact really gava yake na ye kupatiana hiyo permission na the authority kumadawasi, jana anaulizwa na kina Lina Sky about ule mtoi, alafu anasema sio mtoi wako live. Man, my final word, fuck you Mutai, fuck you and fuck you. Inject, reject this administration. Good night guys, kesho tunapata pambana properly.
Thank you. Tusikize kwa Mwanza alafu tufunge na Nduta kindly.
Hey, good evening. Sasa, mine are two. One, first of all, condolences to the families that are bereaved, the families that have lost their loved ones in the demos. And I want to thank all of us for coming out in our numbers to...
Kindly, Kadeno, zima mic.
Yeah, and I want to thank all of us for coming out to stand for our country. Number one, I think the elephant in the room here is about our debt. Perhaps what we should be speaking to is how do we mitigate our indebtedness in the long run? Maybe we should factor in our conversation the fact that some of these debts need to be defaulted on, because when you look at how they were incurred, you read the Confessions of an Economic Hitman, you realize that some of these debts were incurred by strong arming the people who make decisions on behalf of us. When these guys come here and they blackmail our leaders, and our leaders get into those debts, and those debts do not result in development, I do not think that there is an obligation on the common mwananchi to have to shoulder that debt. That is a honest conversation that we should have in the long run. But to have that conversation, we will need leaders. We will need a parliament that will understand the issue and get to it. So perhaps our clarion call should be the dissolution of parliament after the reconstitution of the IEBC. Number two, I'm looking at, I've been listening in on the conversations that are going on here, and there are very many good ideas that are being shared. But I wonder if there is a way that we are sort of retaining this knowledge, these ideas. Perhaps going forward, though we are leaderless and all, we need to look at a way of retaining this knowledge. Maybe we could have a publication, an editorial team, some semblance of organization, so that we retain all these ideas that are being shared in this space. And so that we also document our struggles, because this is an inflection moment for our country, and I do not think that things will be the same again ever. And we should seize this moment so that we curate our ideas and document our struggles at this moment. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you. I think we can listen to Nduta as we wind up.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, Billy, for this space. I want to chime in on solidarity. I don't think solidarity is in location, but it's on the shared thought. All of us, wherever somebody is, allow someone to be to stand in solidarity. I talk in pain, so much pain. You know, somebody, I'm not even aware of what Mutai has tweeted, but from the few comments here, I burn in anger. I burn in so much anger, but allow people to be solitary, wherever, to be in solidarity wherever they are. Wanjiru has given some statistics of how much the hashtag campaign has gone. That one does not need somebody to be in the land of Kenya. We don't need to be physically there, you know, as much as little as someone is doing. You know, we come here in pain. Some people don't understand. You know, that export of labor, I will chime in also on the export of labor. I don't understand how Ruto stands up and beats his chest that he's sending people out of the country. I don't get it. And every time I'm angry, I will give you 4 specifics on the same. It takes somebody who has lived out here to understand the pain we go through. It can't be somebody who is back home. Everywhere you turn around, I hate where I am. And I am not here because I love where I am. I came out of the country because I didn't have an opportunity better enough to keep me there. But it doesn't mean wherever I am, I'm happy. You know, people think Maju, you know, they fascinate about Maju. There's nothing good about it. You know, even our children, you know, I pity the children that we have had here. You know, the children born here. I pity them. As we've gone through the pain for years, you know, we come here 28 give it average of 19 to 20, because these people won't even take you when you're 45 years. They take the youth of, you know, they pick up your youth years when you're strong. Our children who are born here, they are confused and lost. You know, they get to 20 years. Anybody who is born here, they get to 20 years, they are lost. And that's not what we want. We want to take our children back home. And then you turn around and he says he's going to charge every child that is born out of the country to charge 1 million to become a citizen of Kenya. I'm in pain. I am angered. I'm agitated. I'm infuriated. You know, it's annoying. It's annoying. And if I had the strength, I would be in those streets. But because I don't and I'm not in, I am everywhere. I appear everywhere. Why? Because I want to stand in solidarity. It does not need my location, it needs my sense of thought. Because, as I said, it doesn't take somebody who is back home exporting people for labor to understand. And in the same that he's beating his chest, is it the same people that he's sending out there? Now, wengine wanaenda kama places like India, and they are going there to, you know, people have done things that can't, unimaginable, impeccable things. The same people he's saying that he's sending to other places to go and work. The same Kenyans go turn out against their own Kenyans. Why? Because they are not betterly treated there. It is a mind, it's a state of the mind. Like in India, for example, I use India a lot because, you know, those Kenyans there have done Kenyans bad. I'm sure people who follow around, they know. When you go there and you start sex trafficking women to India, and then somebody is beating his chest that he's sending people for labor, what are we talking about? They should create the jobs home. Let people be home. We want a country. We want our country back. I want so badly to take my skills back home. I don't want my skills to develop another country here. A country where I turn in the morning, I'm reminded how black I am. I go anywhere, I'm reminded how black I am. It doesn't matter where it is. Could be in the shops, everywhere. And I pity my children because, you know, I am a strong woman. I can beat it out. Anybody who profiles me, they face me to totality. But my children, it doesn't mean that everybody who is here is strong. People are crying out loud. And it doesn't mean that they are screaming or chiming. They could be screaming in their heart, in their minds. People have got mental health here. He needs to understand that. In Australia, we have lost so many young people, and it pains me. You know, the same people he's saying that he's sending are not strong mentally. And it's not because they cannot stand it. It's because their mental totality cannot stand where they are. You know, you come here, listening to that every day, how black you are, you know, racism, that will coin you, that will split you off. And, you know, as much as you want to be here, you will not want to be here. And who wants to be, you know, split up? You want to be back home, you want to be where you are. We want to be back home. Let him get that. You know, sending out labor is not a solution. Let him create the jobs there. We want our skills. Where can they import the skills back home? We want our skills to develop our country. We want our country back. The youth of other countries are not sent outside. They build their country. They develop their country. We want to develop our country too. You know, it pains me. It's a pinch of pain. So when we see somebody, wherever they are, let them stand in solidarity. I don't know what Mutai has stated, but I am sure I'm going to have a look. But I want you to hear this if it's here. You know, you need to understand the pain of people wherever they are. It doesn't matter where they are or where they stand. It's not the location. It's the sense of that. It's the pain that we carry. Nobody wants to be out here. As much as inaitwa Maju, you know, we don't get the positions that people imagine. It's not as fuzzy. The majority of people don't work the jobs that are supposed to be working. It's not in our professions. It is in silly jobs, cleaning toilets, cleaning offices. It's about cleaning people shit. That's not what we want. We want our country back because we want those skills back, exported back home, not exporting the labor to other countries. As much as you may even hold position, I've been a financial manager in this country and I refused it. And you go back to those silly jobs. Why? Because you're treated like a non-human and it's not direct. And that affects your mind. You know, somebody in my superior, you can imagine a whole financial manager, but somebody does, I'm supposed to reconcile accounts, but somebody does not give me the accounts of data. How am I supposed to reconcile them? And somebody who is so, you know, down the ladder, an accounts clerk, is the one holding a whole bank because they won't trust you because you're black. Can we stop this nonsense? Can we just export people home and stop exporting people outside? They need to understand what we go through. Many people have been outside and some have gone back home. Like Mutua was in this country for many years. He's done well, but they don't go and amplify the pain. Anybody who's been outside should go back home and amplify the pain. Tell the people, we're not supposed to be sending our children outside. We're supposed to be creating jobs there. The government can, you know, increase on spending, increase on expenditure in terms of, you know, encouraging the businesses. Inject that and allow people to spend more. That way you're creating more jobs. Why are we talking about exporting people? It's about that is modernized slave trade. He should not even quote that in his statement that he's busy exporting people outside. I close my submission because I'm in pain. I close my submission.
Hello, Jelani. I think we should be closing up.
You know, I wanted to say that about this labor exploitation thing. One of the recommendations we had made was, because I don't know if you guys remember, before the election, there was a lot of information coming out of, I think it was Saudi, or it was Lebanon. One of those countries had, I think we had an ambassador who was not even a Kenyan representing our people. And then there was a lot of human rights stories coming out of, I actually, at this point, I don't remember if it was Saudi or it was Lebanon, and guys were getting killed. There was videos of house helps getting murdered. There was even I remember one very horrific video of a girl who got hit on the head with a piece of wood. There was just videos all over the internet of girls. There was the other one of the lady falling off the off, I think, like seventh floor of a building. And one of the recommendations we were making was for Kenya to literally seize like any diplomatic relations with those countries until our people were, promised good working conditions, the people who were already there, and there were enough protections in place to make sure people could work there safely. So you could imagine my shock immediately after the election when now all of a sudden we are signing agreements to send 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people to these countries when there is no protection there's just no protections. We don't even at this I don't even know who the new ambassadors are who have been appointed. I should actually look that up. But when we are saying we don't want people to be sent to these countries, it's because there's existing abuses. People get killed in those countries. We've spoken about it endlessly on this timeline. There's so many things that are wrong with Kenya that sometimes I really wonder, like, if we were to start addressing each and every single one of them, it gets very overwhelming very quickly. We are not saying that people should break the law. We are not saying that people should go outside and start behaving in a way that would lead people to imagine that they are criminals. We are saying that Ruto needs to go. because I don't see any other way how we could, and a lot of people agree with me, I don't see how we could fix this thing. Miguna was very clear yesterday. The entire system is broken. The entire system is broken. And this thought that people are talking about what is wrong with Kenya because they don't have better things to do. People have things to do. People have things to do. People have jobs, even those ones that you think don't have the jobs that you might think are good jobs. Those people have families, people have friends, people have things to do in this country. But we need to band and stand together and make sure that we can get good governance. Whether you're earning 1,000, 1,000 shillings a day, 500 shillings a day, it doesn't matter how much you're earning. You should be able to go into a public hospital that is taxpayer funded and get treatment. You should be able to protest without getting shot. You should be able to get your pay when you deserve to get paid. No one should be able to hold on to your money. You should be able to access all your human rights and have everything that you deserve as a citizen. Those rights, everything you deserve as a citizen, has to be protected. And if we have to be on the streets for us to achieve that, then we do that. And I said very clearly on my timeline, we will support everything you want. Mkisema ni streets, tuta support. Mkisema ni hashtag, tuta support. Somebody said that, oh, why are people in diaspora having to tell us where they are at? It's such an important conversation because it doesn't matter. Like I said before, it doesn't matter where you are. Where you are, you're a Kenyan. You're a Kenyan, whether you're in Nairobi, you're a Kenyan, whether you're in Australia, it doesn't, you're a Kenyan everywhere. Most of us wear our Kenyan band because we are so proud we're so proud of our country. People love Kenya. People think it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Everybody that I've met here wants to visit Kenya at some point. And we can't have people aspiring to come to Kenya and then once they land at the airport, they're getting extorted. Or once they try to visit the national park, they're getting extorted. We have to fix Kenya as a whole. We have to fix corruption. We have to fix the human rights abuses. We have to ensure that there's there's employment for people, so people are not without a way to make a living. That's why we are on the street. If Ruto is completely unable to run this government and give us what we are asking for, then he needs to step down. It's not a matter of begging. It's not a matter of asking, telling me, oh yeah, tufanyie hivi. No. It's a demand because we are citizens. We were born here and we deserve to get what is ours. And what is ours is freedom. What is ours is peace. What is ours is protection. What is ours is being able to access government services without having to pay a bribe. And this should be obvious things. This should be very obvious things. And anybody that is standing in the way of us getting these rights, that person is your enemy. Whether they are in Kenya, whether they are abroad, anybody who stands in the way of you as a citizen accessing the rights that belong to you, that person is your enemy. So as we close, I really wish you guys all the best. This cat is crying. I don't know for what reason. I wish you guys all the best. I'm praying for you. I hope everything goes well tomorrow. We shall be supporting you from wherever we are. And you guys take care of yourselves, be in groups. And yeah, tutaonana kesho kwa space as we debrief on how everything has gone. Asanteni sana and good night.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for attending this space. I think we can do this again another time. For now, let's close this space unless kuna mtu ako na final word. Good night.